Alrighty, let's see what we got here. It's easy. Check if all 1's are at least k places away. Alright, given a binary array nums and integer k, return true if all 1's are at least k places away from each other, otherwise false. Alright, so this is simple enough, I think. I just go through the indices one by one. Keep track of maybe the number of zeros, the streak of zeros. Keep track of the number of values between this and the last one. And if the current place is a 1 and the number of numbers between this and the last one is less than k, then return false immediately. Return true after the for loop. So it's kind of short-circuiting. Okay, so I think it should be just for every value in the array. I think I need a counter. I'll say streak equals 0, where streak is number of values since last one. If the value equals 0, then the streak should increment. Else, if the value equals 1, then the streak should be eventually set to 0, but that's the last part. If value is 1, then if the current streak is less than k, less than or equal to k or less than k, it's less than k, return false. So that means that it's closer than k away. And then return true here. Alright, so let's go ahead and just verify with a quick pass here. So first value is 1, streak is gonna, oh boy, that's gonna return false immediately, right? So if all 1's are at least k, oh, I'm misreading it. I thought every 1 is at least k places, but I think it's supposed to be the total. Each of the ones, no, okay, that's right. It's each of the ones is at least 2 away. So I need to ignore the first one. The first one is going to be, actually I think maybe the streak should start with infinity, because the first one should never be closer than k away from the previous one, because it's not possible. So yeah, I think starting the streak at infinity. Alternatively, I can start the streak at k. Yeah, k is probably a little easier. Okay. Yeah. I'll just make a note of that later on. So the first one's like 8 away. So it's a 1, so it's going to go here at the streak, which is 8, less than k, which is 2, which is false. So therefore it just resets the streak to 0. Next value is 0. Streak increases to 1, 2, 3. So here 1 checks that k streak of 3 is less than 2. That's false. Actually, this should be less than or equal to. Yep. And then I think that should be fine. Oh my gosh. False here. K equals 2. When did this return? Okay, let's go ahead and print here. Oh, that's not going to give me the index. If, oh, whoops. Actually, so 2 equals 2, it should be not returning this. Had it right the first time. Okay. Should I do a test case that's kind of a special ed case? If it's all 1's, it starts infinity, is fine. If the streak is 0 or k is 0, then if the k is 0, 0 is nothing less than 0, so that's me not returning false. Alright, I think this is all good. I'll get the faster one. How would you improve this? You have to go through every thing, I think. How would you improve it? Could you use the pigeonhole principle somehow? Could you somehow... Oof. Can you somehow logic your way? No, that's not gonna work. I don't think you can logic your way just because, like, this average streak is 5. This doesn't guarantee that every streak within that is going to be bigger than like 3 or something like that. Yeah. Alright, I'm just going to take a peek as to what the actual faster thing is. If k equals 0, turn true. Oh, is that what's needs to be done, like not actually handling kind of a trivial case? I mean, how many trivial cases are there going to be in this 69 test cases? I guess, yeah, I see. This is handling trivial case. I guess that's a little interesting to consider that even though this is a trivial case, this would be not trivial to compute compute using the normal technique here. Because if k equals 0, this doesn't actually return true until actually going through every value in the nums array. If the nums array is whatever the maximum input size might be, that's actually kind of like almost the worst case handling of it. So this improves the worst case handling to basically the best case. And at the cost of every case having to deal with this extra condition, right? Like if the best case, or if this worst case kind of trivial case, if this trivial case actually occurs like a very, very small amount of time, then having this extra step in every single case is bad. But if this trivial case happens a kind of non-trivial amount of times, then you probably want to do it this way. Very interesting. Okay. Summary. This is going to be fairly simple. Just keep track of number of zeros since last last one. If that number is equal to if that number is less than k, return false immediately. This is short circuit evaluation or short circuit return. And then if not, keep going through the whole nums array until the end. Return true if completed the whole completed pass of all values in the array. Note that streak needs to start with high value, so not 0, like kind of normal, in order to not return false positive on the first one. Like if the first one is kind of at the very first spot in the array, and k is something like 3 or something like that, then that implies that if the streak is 0, then there was a prior 1 at the pre-start of the array, and that is why the thing fails, but there really isn't any. Time complexity is going to be O of n to go through each value in the nums array. And space complexity is going to be O of 1, since no extra space is needed.